Herman Cain has skyrocketed in the polls. He's now #1 in the last 2 polls that we've shared with you, even beating Mitt Romney. Rick Perry's in disastrous shape. And part of the way that he has done that is he's talked about his management skills. He was the CEO of Godfather's Pizza. Now everybody knows that. And you know, I went back and read up a little bit on what he'd done in the past. And apparently he ran a division of Burger King in the Philadelphia region. He ran about 340 stores. And to give him credit, he apparently turned it from one of the least profitable to one of the most profitable. When asked how he did it, he said he got the employees to smile. And that was the difference. Okay, it's better if the employees smile. I'm sure that helps business a little bit, but I'm not sure that that would have done it. But anyway, a simplistic answer by Herman Cain, which is something we're used to at this point. But it turns out that we're not alone. It turns out Herman Cain's aides are quite disgruntled because they say if he's got great management skills, we haven't seen it yet. Now, earlier we shared a story with you about how in South Carolina, New Hampshire, and Iowa, in the early primary states, there was almost no organization to speak of. Senators would call in, and people would say, we have no idea who Herman Cain's staff is. Now, to be fair to him, he skyrocketed very, very quickly, and he didn't have that much money in the beginning, and so he's got to take some time to staff up. I get that, and you really got to know that, right? But at the same time, when you talk to the staff he does have, it's a little devastating. New York Times has an article on it. First, their description of the state of his campaign. They say some former aides said they had longed to see the problem-solving side of Mr. Cain or to see Mr. Cain at all. And that is partly referring to the fact that he's on a book tour in Texas and Tennessee and other southern states that don't vote for a long time in the primaries, which makes no sense, unless you're trying to sell books and not really running for president. Second part of the quote from the New York Times is, over the spring and summer, he did not spend much time with workers, he did not plan conference calls or staff meetings, and was given to changing his mind about appearances, sometimes with little notice, a tendency that angered his field workers. In fact, one guy reports that he had set up this fancy campaign donor meeting for him, and he calls up Cain. He says, all right, you did a great speech, thanks. We're waiting for you upstairs. Herman Cain's like, oh, I'm at the airport. The guy's like, what are you doing? I got all these guys who have pledged $2,500 as long as they meet you, right? And he's like, Herman Cain's like, sad day. Okay, I'll see you later. The guy's like, well, not only is it ridiculous and not very good management, but you just cost yourself a whole heap of money. It's a mess. So now we go to some direct quotes from his former aides. They're talking about how he's spending all his time on the book tour instead. One guy says, when I found out about the book in June, I thought, are you kidding? Who does a book tour in the middle of the primaries? To give you a sense of how bad it is, until he just went back last week to Iowa, he had not been in Iowa, the first caucus, since August. Rick Santorum, who has no chance of winning, but is all over Iowa. He's done over 60 tours in Iowa, right? Herman Cain's like, where are we selling books today? Hasn't been to Iowa since August. That's crazy. Well, we're not the only ones who think it is. Aides think it. Here's another quote. When asked about the book tour and his lack of management and how nobody has any idea what the hell is going on in the campaign and how they can't even get Herman Cain or any of his top advisors on the phone, this former advisor said, quote, I think everyone was bewildered. You're not alone, my friends. A lot of us are bewildered by Herman Cain's campaign, but here comes my favorite quote. So apparently they organized enough to send out one memo telling all the staff about one important thing, among others, but this was clearly outlined in the memo, and it led to some people quitting his campaign. They said that if you're in a car with Herman Cain, very strict rule, quote, do not speak to him unless you are spoken to. So if you're in a car with Herman Cain, hush up. The CEO of Godfather's Pizza's in the car. How dare you talk to him? Don't look at him in the eyes. Okay, so this is the big management skills of Herman Cain. Don't talk to me, and I won't talk to you.